one you kill, another 5 are being born.
Yeah, when they kind of break through out of the ground, it's like just like waves of them. It's just like an ocean of vermin.
So let's look.
A vermintide.
A vermintide, if you will.
Yeah.
If you will. Let's look at a classic Skaven. So we've got a unit of Plague Monks here.
Yeah.
So if you grab one of those guys and just show it off to the camera. So
dude.
Skaven is a sort of human-sized rat, akin to a beastman, but a lot more specialised.
Yeah, they say that if the beastman mutated from men, then Skaven mutated from actual rats, and they sort of followed the same sort of progression.
So they've been touched by chaos.
Yeah. Who hasn't?
Who hasn't? And they follow the horned rat. So the horned rat is the central god that the Skaven believe in. They're desperately trying to bring him into the real world.
Yeah.
He is sort of noted as like a minor chaos god.
Yeah, somewhat, a little bit. And it is said that he is constantly sort of scratching at the fabric between between reality and the great beyond.
There you go, the great beyond. The great beyond.
The great beyond.
So the Skaven are known for their malevolence, their ingenuity, their surprise tactics. They're known for a lot of things, and they have like a lot of weird influences that they've drawn from. So when you look at a Skaven army, you might see things from like World War I machinery.
Yeah.
You might see like Roman Empire.
It all depends on the sort of the clan that they come from.
Yeah.
The 4 great clans, if I can remember this. The 4 great clans, you have clan Moulder, you have clan Eshin, you have clan Pestilence, and you have clan Skryre. And each of those has a separate, distinct style that sort of lends itself to the way that they try and achieve their goals.
And of course, you also have clan Moors, who are the other starting faction that you can play as on Warhammer 2. So
yeah, clan Moors is not one of the 4 great clans, but they're very close, and they want to be.
Well, that kind of gives you a bit of insight to the drive behind what you're going to be doing if you're playing as Queek Headtaker.
For sure, yeah.
So Warhammer 2, we are given the option to control 2 Skaven legendary characters. One of which is Lord Skrolk of Clan Pestilence, who we have in front of us.
Yes.
Not actual Lord Skrolk, but we do have this beautiful array of Pestilence army. And then we also have Queek Headtaker. So let's talk about Queek first, because Queek is obviously the lord that we've been playing as in the preview build.
Have you? I've been playing a Skrolk.
I've been playing a Skrolk as well, because I love Skrolk. But yeah, so Queek is the one that people are probably most familiar with now after the trailers and stuff. We saw him dancing around happily after he stabbed a dark
pretty
elf
menacing,
in the back,
yeah.
Which is amazing. So who's Queek?
Queek is the right claw of what's his name? Nordwell, Warlord Nordwell, who is the Grand Ruler, the Warlord of Clan Moors. And he is, Queek that is, Queek is a ruthless, egotistical, bloodthirsty rat who has ascended through the ranks, sort of by choice. Like, Nordwell has picked him out and made sure that he is the best and the strongest. He saw something in him, and he drives the forces of Clan Moors forward to victory after victory after victory. And he's pretty, like, of all the Skaven, he's sort of the most egomaniacal. Like, he's out for glory for himself.
He's very much someone who has been forced into the role that he's in, because Nordwell has not just sort of said, oh, you're my favorite person, I'm just going to give you all this free stuff. He has sent, like, ambushes after him purposely to test him constantly.
Constantly trying to kill him.
Constantly trying to make him prove his own mettle. And he has, time and time again.
Yeah. There's even situations where if he hasn't been responsible for something, like the taking of a dwarf hold, for instance, he has just been sort of voracious enough and sort of confident enough to claim that he has, and then strong enough to beat anyone that said he wasn't. And now there's a bunch of rumors and tales and myths that say he did all of these things even though he actually didn't. Just took credit for them because he's just a powerful figure.
Well, I mean, that kind of comes into the writing as well, because when you do play as Queek, and then we have all this like beautiful new voice acting that we get with everything that you do in the game. You see him like, well, this isn't my fault, this is clearly your fault. Execute that entire regiment of men.
Exactly, and that's just a classic Skaven thing that's made, like, exemplified by Queek. It's sort of like, anyone else can take the fall for my problem, because it's sort of just a rat eat rat sort of world. Backstabbing and deception is part of their culture.
Literally a rat eat world.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they have to eat.
They have to feed.
Yeah.
So one thing that we get with Warhammer 2 as well is a new feature that has been talked about in some of the publications that have gone out with our preview build.
Yep.
And that's food. So that's a mechanic that you're going to get when you're playing as the Skaven. And the way food works is it's kind of a sort of third resource that you need to look after.
Yeah.
So everyone has their gold, which is their cash, they do everything with. In Warhammer 2, you've also got your ritual currency, which you're sort of working towards completing the game with, complete the rituals.
Yeah.
Of course, in this case, it's warpstone, as you kindly brought us some.
A little tiny chunk of
Careful,
warpstone.
it is zapping.
Yeah, just touching it is kind of mutating my hand.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what happened here?
I touched by chaos.
So the third currency for the Skaven is food.
Yes.
Because the metabolism of your average Skaven, pretty high.
Yeah, it's extremely high, which is why they're so sort of hyperactive and sort of skittering and always energetic, is that their metabolism is just constantly feeding them energy, which means they also constantly need to be ingesting energy to expend it. It's simple thermodynamics or something. So after every fight, they tend to have to feast on either the enemies or on themselves, on their own fallen. It's called the Black Hunger. And if they don't feed, they will wither away and they will die. It's a wasting disease in a way.
And that plays into the mechanic of how it works as well, because the less food you have, the more public order you're going to get, attrition, because your men are eating themselves alive, and your rats are eating themselves alive. You're running out of troops because of it. You're going to get hits to all of your stuff on the.
It's not good to not have food.
But if you have this abundance of food, suddenly it opens up new avenues, because not only is it giving you bonuses, but for example, you've just taken over a new town. Why, wait for level 1 and then get some more population?
You can buy levels of.
Shove it full of food.
Yeah.
Let the rats come. Bam, level 3 settlement instantly.
Less like real life.
How about that?
Yeah.
How's that for a treat?
It's pretty good. I've been doing it quite a lot and then running out of food because I've been a bit too overzealous. But if you have this abundance of food from successful missions and successful base building, I guess, like civilization building, then you can just spend it. Spend it like a currency, like you said.
And of course, you get to use it for your in-game abilities. So, for example, one thing that a lot of people are pointing out is the Menace Below, which is a army ability that you get with the Skaven. Basically means that anywhere on the battlefield, you can summon a unit of clan rats and they crawl out of the ground and start attacking people.
It's pretty useful.
Fun.
I'm going to say.
And the more charges of that, the more food you're going to spend.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun mechanic to play with. It gives you loads of things to sort of aim for and then go for and then realise you didn't have the resources for and then watch your entire empire cut itself in half.
I don't want to talk about it.
So, the other flip side of the 2 legendary lords that you can play as is, of course, Lord Skrolk.
Lord Skrolk.
So Lord Skrolk is, well, tell us about him.
He's one of the 9 plague lords of Clan Pestilence. My Clan Pestilence and my guys, yeah.
The boys.
And he's like death walking, essentially. He is somehow older than any of the Skaven by an order of magnitude. He shouldn't be alive by all sort of worldly understanding, but he is, through dark rituals and pestilent concoctions. Wherever he walks, like if he was to walk through the back of here, all of these fake plants,
incredibly real jungle foliage would
wither and die. Like he's so pestilent that not even a fly can get within his aura of awful. And yeah, he is the prophet of obviously of Clan Pestilence, taking their message and mission of disease forward across the world.
And that's what Clan Pestilence is about. So for anyone who doesn't know the backstory of Clan Pestilence, of course, there was once a great tunnel built under Cathay in the east of the Warhammer world that popped up into Lustria.
Yeah.
So this clan of rats, led by one of the ancient Pestilence lords, would move into Lustria to try and find some new lands, some new things to corrupt and destroy and eat. And they had a pretty tough time. Yeah,
they found it, as you might find any sort of jungle, if you went into a jungle. It's a bit sweaty, a bit hot, but humid. It's the perfect place for diseases to grow and fester. And these rats that showed up in Lustria for the first time, they weren't what we would call Clan Pestilence. They were sort of just Skaven on a mission. And they all got horribly sick. And a lot of them died. But the ones that survived sort of were enhanced, is maybe not the right word, but they were mutated by the pestilence that they found there. And in their sort of delirious state, they had visions and prophecies telling them they had to take these newfound diseases and spread them across the world.
And they saw that as evoking the will of the horned rat.
Yeah, that is how they think the great horned rat talks to them.
Yeah. And you see that in pretty much everything they do from their clan rats. So their plague monks are just these like completely unarmored, filthy hordes of horribleness.
Yeah, they're like walking dirty bombs, essentially.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
just put them into enemies and just...
And the main central piece of that, of course, is the secondary way that you can have this Screaming Bell item here, which is the Plague Furnace. So if you grab that guy
Which one, sorry? This one?
So this is the Screaming Bell.
And he's going to kill me.
So instead of having this beautiful Screaming Bell, which is going to deliver random effects across the battlefield, you can indeed have a Plague Furnace. So the Plague Furnace is a giant swinging ball of green smoke, which is just going to deliver horrible death upon anyone.
These chunks of warpstone all messed with horrible buboes and diseases, just spewing away. I think a pestilence army is probably the worst army I could possibly come across. Yeah, anyone could come across. Like, armies of men are reduced to just like putrid sludge on the floor, like dissolved by these horrible concoctions.
So Skrolk is famously blind, and you have the little tidbit story behind that.
He's one of the 9 plague lords of Clan Pestilence. The Arch Plague Lord is Nurglich. Tell me a little fun fact about Nurglich.
Little fun fact: everyone named Nurglich is taking that on as honour of the first Nurglich.
So every Arch Plague Lord is
Arch Plague Lord has named themselves Nurglich in honour of the first who discovered all of these diseases.
So Skrolk looks upon Nurglich, whichever Nurglich it is.
Can't remember.
the 49th or whatever. And he is so perfectly disgusting. It is such an encapsulation of everything that Clan Pestilence stands for that he finds it so perfect and beautiful that he gouges his eyes out so that he will never not know something so perfect. Like, the last thing he sees is this perfect, disgusting creature.
This pile of filth.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you love filth, you're going to enjoy the Skaven.
Exactly. But I won't say the Great Horned Rat still sort of provides for Skrolk and lets him see sort of like a heat map. So he can still move with sort of an ableness and a swiftness because he sees like a sort of heat map of where the plague is going ahead of him, so he can still... So he's not like fumbling around in the dark.
Yeah. So I was just about to ask, does that hinder him in battle, or is he still...
No, he's always in the front lines as well, delivering more disgusting ways and means upon his foes.
I'd say one thing about Skrolk, especially in Warhammer 2, is normally with a caster lord, unless you get the big tanky caster lords, they're going to be pretty weak, obviously, because they're all about magic and not about the melee attack. Skrolk can...
He can hold his own.
He can punch with the best of them.
And some of his spells are pretty tremendous as well. As I said, I've been playing with him recently, so yeah, I'm a big fan of the Pestilence, as you can tell by all of the green that I'm wearing today.
And brown as well.
And brown, yeah, all of the colours of the rainbow.
The Skaven rainbow. So those are the 2 legendary lords that we're going to be playing as. Clan Moors and Clan Pestilence are the ones that they're bigging up, but we're also going to see some more clans in the New World as well.
Oh, they're all over the place. Yeah.
One, of course, is Clan Eshin. Yeah. So Clan Eshin are these assassins.
Rat ninjas.
Essentially. So they were sort of trained in the East.
Yes.
Yes.
I know less about Eshin than I do about Moors, but go for it.
Clan Eshin was sort of trained in the East, Cathay and Nippon, all around these sort of like martial tactics of staying hidden, using poisons, and popping up in the least likely place and stabbing someone in the back.
Gutter runners running around.
Beautiful for Skaven. And we're going to see a lot of Clan Eshin units come up in Warhammer 2. So you've got your Night Runners, your Gutter Runners, and we've also got these things called Death Runners, which... I'm not sure if they've been taken from a different facet or if they were on the tabletop, because I'm just not...
I think they're in there somewhere. The Night Runners do exist, yeah.
So the Death Runners are your sort of melee version, and then the Gutter Runners and the Night Runners are better at sort of ranged. So they're going to have those slings and poisons, stuff like that.
It's just kind of popping up all over the place, yeah.
And leading this is one of the central heroes, which is the Clan Eshin Assassin. And the Assassin basically has stalk all the way across the battlefield. He can just pop up wherever he wants and stab someone in the back.
He's a nightmare.
And he's a duelist hero, so he's going to be really, really fun to use, especially paired up with those Night Runners as well.
I still think I prefer Skrolk. Maybe that's just me.
Maybe you just need like a Clan Eshin mod to come out so that you can have Skrolk Ninja. That's what you need.
That's what you heard, right?
If any community
make me
mod makers
a
are
Rat
out
Ninja
there,
mod.
We need a Rat Ninja Skrolk mod. That's what we need. Another clan that we're going to see represented is, of course, Clan Moulder.
Yes.
And Clan Moulder are known for their horrible bio-fusing.
Yeah, they're sort of the breeders and the surgeons and the sort of the maniacal ones. They're the ones that are all cackling away as they sort of fuse fuse beast and machine, rat and machine with warpstone, and just kind of throw it all into a pot and see what they get out the other side.
Basically, just sort of playing God and just hoping for the best.
Yeah, they're just like a rat version of Dr. Frankenstein. They're just
coming up with some amazing things.
Amazing things.
Amazing
things.
So if we look right in the middle, if you grab your favourite rat ogre, please grab your favourite rat ogre.
Oh, good. Oh,
I quite like the top right one from us.
This fella.
Let's
take a look at this.
He's pretty cool. So
I call him Ratigan.
Ratigan. So Ratigan is one of our rat ogres. Now the rat ogres are going to be your big, heavy hitting, quite fast as well, flanking monster unit. Kind of similar to how a crypt horror would work. Yeah. They're gonna pierce armor and they're gonna smash. And if anyone's seen any gameplay of the rat ogres, and we're gonna see some later, when they charge, they belly flop into the crowds as well, which is amazing.
And you can sort of see from them as well. It's like how they've been like. He's not holding on to that.
That's his arm.
It's hard to see.
That is now his arm.
That's his arm. It's just a big old blade on his arm, and he's got this, what I assume is some kind of like warpstone generator connected to. And there's a big little chunk of warpstone in his shoulder. I've seen some of the models as these guys were making them, and it's pretty amazing.
They've got like warpstone drills attached to their arms and stuff.
They're
they just look amazing.
They are, and terrifying.
And terrifying, which is what you want from a massive monster in your army.
That's true.
But nothing is more terrifying or more horrendous than what is known as the Hell Pit Abomination.
The Hell Pit Abomination.
How much fluff do you know behind the Hell Pit Abomination?
I did the descriptions for this guy a very long time ago. But I'm probably a bit rusty, but I know that was made in the Hell Pit, all the way in the north and then some, away from the rest of the rats. And this is like the result of like a dozen failed experiments. Where they just kind of, it was sort of a, let's just keep adding warpstone until we fix the problem sort of situation, which they did. And do you want to fill in any more information you might know about the Hell Pit Abomination?
So the cool thing about the Hell Pit Abomination is that is not a rat, as you can probably tell.
No, it's...
So essentially they were trying to make the biggest, most horrible monster they could, and they kept kind of falling apart because like nothing that horrible should exist. So one issue that they did find is that they, you seen that hipster comment there? Yeah.
I get that a lot.
So basically what they did was find these giant underground tunneling worm things and just like sew rats to it and fill it with machinery and warpstone.
All these rats
and you can see it's kind of propped up by this huge mechanical wheel at the back which just lets it move. And it's just horrendous.
Yeah, they went through a lot of these things before they succeeded. And yeah, this thing scares me.
Yeah, you can see the skull of the previous creature poking out, and then all of these little rat heads move around like sniffing out food, and it's pretty eldritch.
Yeah, it just wants to eat as well. That's what they do. They chase down and say, just like let it go. It's like it's hard to control because it's a worm with rats on it.
Affectionately known as the A-bomb.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Affectionately.
Affectionately. So one other clan that we're going to see represented by their units on the battlefield is Clan Skryre. So Clan Skryre are my favourite clan.
Yeah, these are your Tinkerers, your engineers.
And these guys are making the war machines, basically.
Yeah, they're the mechanics and the engineers. They tinker away and lightning strikes and then they come up with such crazy abominations as these three things at the side here. So you have your Doom Wheel, which if you're a Gamescom, you can see propped up against
If you'd like to ride a Doom Wheel, go to Germany now. And you can ride a Doom Wheel. It may not move, but you can ride it.
Yeah, and the Doom Wheel is a very clunky but extremely dangerous sort of contraption where a Skaven sits inside, and there's someone on the back here as well, and then just kind of drives itself at the enemy and just kind of mows into their ranks.
I feel like the guy on the back is kind of like pumping, kind of like an old railway cart. There's also rats like running in it like a giant hamster wheel in the bottom, and then you've got like a pilot who's sort of like pivoting around and picking the direction.
And it's a little warp lightning cannon.
Big warp lightning cannon on the front.
I call it little because there's another one just there. It's a little bit
that's
bigger.
relatively larger, I suppose.
Yeah.
But this is going to like zap random enemies that it's close to and deliver like bolts of electricity.
And it's got big spiky spike things.
Big spiky spike things. It's going to run people over.
Yeah.
And it's going to flatten people.
It's inelegant, but it's effective.
It is the biggest like chariot abomination that is just going to run through any kind of light troop is going to get flattened.
It's one of my favourite things.
It's really fun.
Skaven.
It's really fun. And if you like micromanaging, like you can destroy things with it. So next up, we've got the Plague Claw Catapult.
Yes, I'm an artillery person, so in Total War I like this and I like the next thing even more. And this is it's pretty rudimentary. It's a catapult that fires. If you can just see at the back here, this isn't like a bullet or like a shell. It's just a pile of filth and buboes and stuff loaded in. And then just launched, and then whoever it hits, it'll probably turn them to sludge.
Andy, who's painted this, has gone for like a green slime thing.
Yeah.
But the recommended paint job is literally like chunky vomit. It's
is
like
it?
Yellow with like green dots in it.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Well,
pretty
then my
nasty.
thanks to Andy for not doing that. Oh, there's a skull in there as well.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just gross. It's just like hurling grossness at them. I guess this is a pestilence version.
Yeah. So this is not as accurate as some of the other siege weapons. But it is definitely going to pack a punch.
Yeah.
It really hits
It's
hard.
a catapult, you know, you get what you...
It's also going to discourage them enemies because it's going to hit them with leadership penalties as well.
Yeah.
Which is also
I'd be pretty
great.
demoralised if I was hit by...
So if you're smacking like the cannon fodder units that come up, literally cannon fodder, they're going to run because this thing is going to terrify them because they're going to get penalties for being hit by artillery. I would run.
If I was hit by a catapult
If I was covered in vomit, I would go home and have a bath, I think. But I'm not a Skaven.
Or disintegrate, yeah.
Or disintegrate, yeah. So next up, you seem pretty excited to talk about this one. I've been painting this at the moment.
Have you been painting one of these?
I have.
Yeah, it's just a... What's it called?
It's a warp lightning cannon.
Warp lightning cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's dusty. And it's just my favourite thing. It just fires warp lightning out of the top of it at a very powerful rate into the enemy, and it's much more accurate than the catapult.
Much straighter arc of fire as well.
So don't fire it through.
It generally hits like a cannon. It's going to shoot straight ahead.
Yeah, and it's like a straight through. If you target at the back ranks, it could get bunches of them, and it's not as inelegant as the Doom Wheel, and it's not as gross as the catapult. But yeah, it's Clan Skryre perfection. Is what I would call it.
Exactly.
And also it's got spiky bits at the front in case anyone gets too close.
Look, you need to put spiky things on stuff.
That's
Otherwise, it's not Warhammer.
That's my philosophy anyway.
If it doesn't have skulls and spikes on it, it's not Warhammer.
No, exactly.
So we've got one more model to look through. We might as well grab them. So these guys are the Storm Vermin, and Clan Moors are actually pretty well renowned for the quality of their Storm Vermin.
Yeah.
So these are like your elite infantry.
Yeah. Well, you've got two sort of castes of warriors in Skaven society. You have your Skaven slaves.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really warriors. They're just your menial rats that you get to do everything for you. They are literally slaves. They're bred into servitude. You do all of the menial tasks like Skaven Blight. They farm all of the grain, and in battle they're just pressed into combat at the head of the pack as cannon fodder.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, nobody cares if they live or die. They are just there to clog the wheels of war, and then your clan rats. Or your Storm Vermin, sorry, not your clan rats, are your more elite units, like you say. Queek, for instance, has a little elite unit of Storm Vermin that follow him around, dressed in red.
Nice.
And yeah, these are your elite units. These they're ruthless. They're powerful. They are unrelenting. Your standard elite unit.
And they pierce armor and they've got anti-large bonus. So.
Look at this spiky spike boy. Like it's just gonna.
They also come in a sword and shield variant in the game as well.
Yeah.
So hand weapons.
Yeah, this dude's got. I may have picked up the wrong one. This guy's got a spear and a sword.
Spear and a dagger.
Yeah.
God, you can't have them both.
Greedy.
But one thing that you're going to see from Skaven units. So this is my favourite bit of fluff, actually.
Yeah, go on.
Did you know that
maybe
some of the most brutal warriors in the Skaven are the clan rats, and they just do really well, and they want to upgrade to a sort of Storm Vermin's position.
Yeah, the clan rats are the ones that are allowed to advance.
Yeah.
But the Skaven slaves will, 99% of them will live and die as Skaven slaves.
But one of the key defining features of most vermin, Storm Vermin, is that they have the black fur.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're born with brown fur into this horrible Skaven caste system, you are like, no, you're either a slave or a clan rat, mate. They'll dye their fur black because they just want to fit in.
Well, imagine what happens if you get caught having like you died black.
Well, you probably die before that, or you get eaten
Get
or something.
eaten. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
or you
get
get
eaten.
shot by a giant cannon. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of ways for a rat to go
ways
out.
to die, and there's plenty more to come to replace you. So yeah, plenty more units to play as in Warhammer 2 as well. We're going to see a few of them come up in the gameplay section as well. But let's talk a little bit more fluff before we get there. We've still got a few more minutes.
There's a lot of fluff to talk about.
There's a lot of fluff to talk about. We won't touch all of it in this short segment. They are very fluffy. They're also very fleshy and very evil.
Yeah.
So one of the key defining sort of bits of Skaven society is the Council of the 13.
Yes.
So do you want to briefly talk to us about
the Council of the 13 is the leader of all of the clans. And fun little tidbit, it goes in outside in order, which makes sense. So 13 and 1 are the least ranked. Yeah. In the hierarchy, and number 7 is the most ranked, and number 7 is. Do you know what number 7 is?
The Great Horned Rat.
No.
Wait, what?
Is the leader of? Oh yeah, he is an empty chair.
Yeah,
but also
there is an empty chair in the centre of the table, reserved for the Great Horned Rat.
But like the most ranked one is the leader of the Grey Seers. The one of them is who is real.
Yes.
And in the material plane. And I've forgotten his name, but it begins with the K. And so everyone that moves in, for instance, the leader of Clan Pestilence is he who is seated 10th, and he's number 10. And they control the motions of the Skaven, because all of the clans will essentially fight each other. They don't like each other. No Skaven likes another Skaven. They all want to.
Everyone wants to stab each other in the back and take their stuff.
Take their place and their stuff. Yeah. Which is the beauty of Nordwell is that he's keeping Headtaker sort of busy fighting his wars and killing his enemies and trying to kill him with assassins to keep him sharp. He's so busy doing all of that he hasn't even got a chance to think about taking over his boss's position.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the Council of 13, led by the Grey Seers, sort of push the Skaven agenda as dictated by the Great Horned Rat, who, as you say, is the empty seat at the table. I'm very sorry that I told you off for that.
So the Grey Seer, as we can see, sat on top of the Screaming Bell, and if you do mount your Grey Seer on the Screaming Bell in the game, he will actually swing around on the bell, which looks incredible.
That's amazing.
I don't know when we'll see that, but I'm sure we'll see it very soon.
Yeah.
So the Grey Seers are kind of the catch-all casters. They're born with grey fur, and they also have horns, which makes them look really cool.
Yeah, a lot of people they like to push the idea that they're not of the same breed as other Skaven. Whether it's true or not, they sort of like the idea. So, also, I'm reading the chat, and I may have gotten the order wrong of the council, which is great, but
ouch.
I'm only human.
We are only human. If we were rats, we'd be perfect, but we're not.
Yeah, but what are they talking about?
I don't know. I think we're talking about Grey Seers.
Grey Seers.
So
yeah, they like the idea of being not the same breed as rats as the
exactly.
other guys. But whether they are or not, they just push the idea, and they control all the Skaven kind through sort of manipulation and puppeteering.
And you'll see that in the game, of course, as well, because the Grey Seers are going to be feeding you quests through the storyline. So if you've been catching up with our ritual, the Skaven ritual, which isn't done, by the way, there's more to come. The Skaven ritual showed us a incredible intro cinematic that all of the races are going to get. We got to see the Skaven one, of course, and we get to see the Grey Seers with their infinite plans, forcing us into doing things. Queek famously hates Grey Seers.
There's a lot to hate about them.
Yeah, and they will get a loyalty bonus, not bonus, debuff, actually. They'll get a loyalty debuff when under Queek because he hates them so much.
He does hate them so much. Not many people like them, I understand, but they begrudgingly listen to them because they speak with the voice of the Great Horned Rat, essentially.
Another thing to point out is that Clan Pestilence were not always on the council, and they actually caused a massive civil war, which eventually ended in them becoming on the council.
Did they?
Little tidbit.
Ah,
nice little tidbit for you there.
Tidbit.
Yeah.
Learning about Skaven.
So are there any of your favourite little tidbits like that you want to point out before you go?
What, Skaven stuff?
Skaven stuff.
I've kind of told you a lot of my favourite little tidbits as we've gone through. I haven't got any to drop on you right at the end, other than I clearly didn't know where the council was. But
no mic drops.
In my head, the council works like I want it to, but it doesn't. No, I like the idea of Skrolk feeling his way around by seeing pestilence.
Seeing plague.
It's like if plague goes here, plague goes everywhere, but like he heat maps it, and it may or may not be in the game as well.
Well, I mean, there's one cool thing that we can get is everyone now has rites.
Yes.
So rites is a mechanic that that people are going to see in Warhammer 2. One of which for the Skaven is oh god, I can't remember the name of it. There's the Scheme of Doom, which will summon a warlock engineer who will blow himself up in the building and destroy the walls of the settlement, which is really cool. But the equivalent for a plague priest is one where he will just like stand in a big zone and just like melt into pestilent plague smoke and just fill an entire region with a new plague.
It's kind of what a lot of the plague monks and plague censer bearers and that kind of stuff in battle will do. They know that they're just, like you said before, they're walking dirty bombs, whether they're swinging around a censer or whether they're just covered in pus. Then they exist to push that idea of pestilence.
Another cool thing that a lot of people didn't pick up when we said the roster reveal, bone breakers are in the game. You can have them as a mount for your generic warlords, which is really cool.
Oh man,
I
want to go back to my campaign.
Yeah, bone breakers are like a rat ogre with like more strength, which is just silly.
Yeah.
But also like a platform on the back, and you can see like the rat ogre going mental, and the rat's like
trying to control. Definitely trying to control him. Yeah.
But that's also a theme in a lot of Skaven stuff. How much control do they have over what they're doing?
I think the Hellpit Abomination is probably the best example of that. It's sort of like, okay, so we made it. Nah, just gonna let it go and see what happens, and maybe we'll get it back at the end.
And of course, famously, like their war machines will like blow up in the tabletop.
Yeah.
And one thing that you can do with the Skaven is to just say you've got your big, warp lightning cannon, and you want to kill off this elite unit. Shove some slaves attacking it, just blow them up.
Oh yeah, they're just Skaven slaves.
Who cares?
I mean,
you'll even get some cool abilities which just blow people up.
Yeah.
Which is really fun.
I mean, who cares about Skaven slaves?
Yeah, they're slaves.
Made to die.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us, Pete.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
It is.
That was our fourth and final Lore Talk of Warhammer 2.
All 4 of them done.
Can you imagine? We're going to have to wait for a new race to be announced before we do another Lore Talk.
I don't know anything about. I couldn't
Me neither.
possibly
I don't
comment.
know who the next race is going to be.
No.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
For the next roster or whatever that is.
Yeah. I'll see you soon.
Fantastic. We're just going to play a quick video whilst we move over to the desk, which is a lovely Queek model showcase, and then we're going to be playing some Warhammer 2. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. We're on the desk. Defend your world, destroy theirs. We're back with Total War Warhammer 2. I don't know if my mic is on. Is it on? Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah, now I can hear myself. We are going to be playing some Warhammer 2. We've got it booted up ready. Lord Skrolk is going to be taking on some lizard men in the search of the Rod of Corruption, I think. I've forgotten the name of the item. Oh well, that's fine. Let's go over to the gameplay and watch this amazing intro cinematic, which is going to tell you all about
That should be me there. I should be the one playing it.
Nice, unblemished, pure. It must be gifted the touch of pestilence. That the reptile things attack me for this is blasphemy. Lead me to the Crimson Skull so I make it powder and restore my Rod of Corruption. Yes.
Rod of Corruption. Oh, thank you for the sweet, my friend. We're joined by Tom. Hello, Tom. How's it going? Oh, you haven't got your headset on, mate. You have got sweets. Oh, go on then. Bang. There's a lot of sweets in the office. I'm probably going to get shouted at by my girlfriend now who's watching. But we're going to be playing some Warhammer 2, Tom. Are you excited?
I'm excited. Of course I'm excited.
So,
what's going on?
So we are in search of the Rod of Corruption. We've got our main man, Skrolk, who is sat over here. There he is, with all his pestilent fury around him. You can see all the smoke coming off him. It looks incredible.
Playing as your favourite faction, of course.
He is my favourite faction, the Skaven. I haven't been able to talk to them for the
Talk to them?
Talk to them? No, I always talk to them.
Okay.
I haven't been able to talk about them for like the entire campaign, which has been a struggle. But now we can.
I know, it's weird to be able to say Skaven. It's still, I almost, every time I say it, I almost stop myself.
You like
every time I'm like,
we haven't had a chance to properly look at chat. I just saw one. Oh, move that mic up, Tom.
Is this better?
Is that?
This?
Are we, yeah, mics. Are we good? Are we
Like
good
an
on
eye?
mics?
Like
We're
this?
good on mics. Would you prefer it here or maybe
This?
here?
Is this better?
Arc Prometheus says, let's see if Whelan can beat the handbags. I'm guessing that is his little slang term for the lizardmen, who we are going to be coming up against. Of course, they are scaly, so you could have like a lizardman skin handbag if you were.
I guess so.
If you were so inclined.
I guess that could happen.
I feel like my army would have eaten all of their corpses before I got a chance to do that, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're not renowned for cutting
Keeping
things up nicely.
Yeah.
to make into handbags. Is this high enough now? You looked at me like it wasn't, and I was like, no.
Mike sounds fine, says Shigobaya. So
well,
thank you,
good.
Shigobaya.
Apparently that means that must mean I don't. so Mike sounds fine. We'll
I
take
think
that.
he meant microphone.
Sorry, I didn't read it, so I
Yeah.
thought he meant Mike as in
Not
Michael.
Mike Whelan, but microphone.
So much confusion.
I
Skaven
know.
calls it, right?
It's because you've been late, so you've run in and you're like, I'm here, Skaven, we're here. Okay, so we are going to be looking for the Rod of Corruption, which means that we need to kill off all of these horrible lizardmen, get them out of our newfound territory, and steal it for ourselves. Because
steal it.
I mean, you could ask nicely, but we're the Skaven. We don't do that. Let's look at what we've got under our control. So first of all, we've got Skrolk, of course. We can have a quick look at his stats, because I know people love stats. So Skrolk is a spellcaster. He's also a very decent melee combatant.
Handy.
Holds
I
his
like
own.
that I like that combination.
He holds his own. And I have to say, because I have been playing as Skrolk for quite a few campaigns now, he genuinely can smash people. Genuinely, he can smash people.
Look forward to seeing it.
Look at that giant plague flail that he's got. He's just he's cool as hell. So
cool.
Not a lot of armor, decent amount of health. That is the wrong character. There we go. Not a lot of armor, decent amount of health. His leadership is being buffed because he has flank secured, and he's also encouraged by a nearby unit. You've also got a Warlock Engineer here, which is Zapspark the Experimenter, which is a great name. That's a great name. We had one on the Norska playthrough, and he was called like Skin Renderer or something ridiculous like that, which is pretty good.
Interesting.
So these guys are your melee lord, but they also have some spells to their ensemble as well. Not lord, sorry, hero. They're armor piercing and they're a spellcaster. They've got a nice bit of armor piercing damage there. You can see that breakdown here. 196 piercing damage. That's pretty good.
It's pretty effective.
Pretty tasty. But he's also going to have some cool abilities. So my favourite one is the Doom Rocket.
Big fan of the Doom Rocket.
Doom Rocket is amazing. So this is a magic missile that he gets to cast once per battle. It's an ability, so no winds of magic. It splits into multiple projectiles in the air and it just rains fire down on everyone with them.
A lovely cluster bomb.
So whilst we're talking about projectiles, we might as well talk about our siege weapons. We've got the Plague Claw Catapult, which we saw on the desk earlier. As we said, this like, you can see all the sort of mold growing on it. It's because it just flings like massive projectiles of vomit and like dead creatures and stuff at people, which is amazing.
They don't clean it, which is
well, that would defeat the purpose. To be fair, that would defeat the purpose. Armor piercing missiles. It's also going to do contaminated damage, which is going to do -10 leadership for 10 seconds after they get hit, which is really cool. And Doomwheel. Do I need to say anything else?
No.
No. Doomwheel.
Don't.
I mean, look, it's summed up right here on the screen. Zap.
Actually, zap.
Zap! There we go. That was probably too loud for the mic. Probably got Jess shouting at us now. I see you. We've got our Plague Monks here as well, which I'm going to line up at the front as well. These guys are a damage dealer into anti-infantry. They're not very highly armoured. I've done a lot of talking today, Tom.
Have you?
I've done a lot of talking today, as I normally do. They're not very heavily armoured. They've just got 10, but they do a lot of damage. Melee attack of 34, which is pretty decent. And you'll see that they're also relatively fast, but they do have a debuff coming in at the moment. And I can't remember what that is, but we'll find out.
It's a debuff.
It's a debuff. We've also got our Storm Vermin, who are, of course, the big heavy elite units. Pretty much the only big heavy elite infantry that you're going to get with the Skaven. And these guys are going to be your anti-large armor piercing. They've got the big armor. They're really cool. They're really handy. We're going to shove these guys on the right because, shock horror, I've played this quest battle before.
Have you?
Yeah, and I know that something is coming for us. Behind them, rat ogres. Everyone loves rat ogres. Look at these guys. Amazing. They belly flop people, Tom. They belly flop
people.
them. Genuinely.
Are they allowed?
Yes. They're allowed to belly flop. Why would they not be allowed?
Don't know. Rules of engagement?
Rules of engagement.
Do they not apply here?
No, not with a Skaven.
Oh, goodness.
It's an outrageous comment. I'm going to shove these guys in a little unit of their own. We've got some gutter runners. We've also got some gutter runners with poison slings. These guys have a cool ability called Snare Net, which you can see here. So around themselves, they get to do a hex, which is going to slow people down, which is really fun.
That's wonderful.
Really good. It's going to mean that they're slowing people down, making sure they take loads of shots, and that's going to be really good. We're going to shove those guys in the trees. On top of that, let's shove Skrolk behind our front line. We'll get Zap Spark the Experimenter behind there as well. We can hit play now. We go into slow motion. How about that? Start people moving. One other very cool unit is the Poisoned Wind Globadiers. These guys are going to be very important for this battle because they do a lot of damage.
Look at those guys.
Look at them. I love their little like World War like gas masks.
The gas masks are pretty cool.
They look very sweet. We're going to shove these guys over here. And yeah, I'm feeling good to go, man. I'm feeling ready. We've also got our Sensor Bearers. We talked briefly about these. These guys have Warpstone Dust and Vile Contagions filling their diabolical sensors, exposure to which does horrendous things to bodies and minds alike.
Scary stuff.
Scary stuff. They're also going to hit for Contaminated, basically, is what that means, which is very fun. And they have armor-piercing damage. So we're going to make use of those guys as well. Let's hit play, and let's get this party started. I'm going to overcome my Storm Vermin here. Tom, you're going to be the new commentator now because I'm going to
be the new commentator.
Yeah.
Do you need to focus?
I do need to focus. Make sure I get this right. I don't know what difficulty this is going to be on. This is the preview build, so I think the difficulty may be locked, possibly. Do you know?
I don't know the answer to your question.
Good.
So
Well,
that's a treat, right?
yeah, exactly. That's what we want. So let's look at that range there.
Yeah.
So
Are they in range?
They're just about to come in range. They are charging.
They are
toward
approaching
us.
you.
Yeah.
They're coming off the hill, coming off their high ground.
We're also eventually, possibly, maybe going to get a little ambush from the side here. Who knows, Tom? Who knows?
Spoilers.
Who knows?
Spoilers, man.
I certainly don't know because I've never played this before. Now, look, we've not talked about it. We need to talk about it. It's the A-Bomb himself, the Hell Pit Abomination.
Here he is.
Look at that guy. Listen to him screaming, all the little heads moving around on top of him.
A beautiful creature, right?
I mean, it's some human centipede stuff right here, but instead of humans, it's rats, which is even better. So let's get our play core catapult firing on. I want some slow movers.
None of those are slow movers.
Yeah, they're all on
you've
cold
got
ones.
a Carnosaur flanking you though. You've got to worry about that.
I'm not worried at all, mate. I'm gonna shove these storm vermin over here, and then I'm gonna move 2 up, and then I'm gonna keep 1 in reserve over here.
You have cheated a little bit here.
Not cheated at all,
with
mate.
your halberds, you're putting them out on the right side.
Is it cheating or is it practice? I believe it's practice because that looks more favourably on me.
Okay, I'll allow it.
What
I'll allow
are
it just this one time.
What are chat saying? Do we want to bring this A-bomb over to the right? I think we do.
Chat, they're talking about how cute. They're just talking about how cute all of these are.
Yeah?
Yeah, all the rat men.
They're
Everyone
pretty
loves
cute,
them,
aren't
right?
they? They're pretty cute. So these feral cold ones have come in because we've been looking at A-bombs and stuff.
Yeah, you were. That's on you.
That is on me. That's
on
completely
you.
on me.
Are you going to get your Doom Wheel involved?
I could get my Doom Wheel involved. I feel like my Doom Wheel is better for light infantry and just running through them like you would with a chariot. So I'm going to get those guys. I'm also going to flank around with my Rat Ogres here. So I'm going to bring these guys round. Bear in mind that we've got a Saurus Old Blood here riding a cold one. He looks incredibly cool.
He does
Love
look
his
cool.
model. So he's going to be doing pretty well, but he is taking that anti-large damage, which is going to hurt him quite a bit. And we'll see some of these.
He's done some good initial damage there on that flanking army.
Yeah.
You seem to be taking control of this.
Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. We've got these cold ones here that are going to be holding us up for a little bit, but I don't think they're anything to worry about.
Have that main army moved into range yet? They
Here they come, and we got some fire coming off on their
skirmishes. You're going to get a
skirmishes.
good cinematic shot in here?
Oh yeah, I think so. Let's pop that UI off and get that fire coming in.
They're not going to shoot anymore.
No, they will eventually. I might lose the battle just for getting a shot, but there we go. Look at that.
Here they come.
Bosh.
You're going to track it?
That is total war. Love
total war.
That is total war. I'm actually going to start firing at something that isn't a skirmisher because it's a bit more useful. Let's get on those.
What are your units doing here? Why are you charging some men in to die at the front?
I actually don't know what happened there.
What have you done?
I really don't know, actually. I don't really know what happened there. So obviously we're winning on this flank here because...
They have gone feral, though.
Yes, they have gone feral. Now
that feral Carnosaur has gone feral.
Well,
if he wasn't feral enough...
Have they gone feral, or is he
just
like
there the whole time?
extenuating how feral he is? Let's get our Doom Wheel flanking around the side so we can start taking some zaps on people. I've got my line moving up here now.
Is it time for the... When are you going to use the rocket? That's what
When am I going to use the rocket?
Are you going to wait till they've kind of kind of grouped up onto your front line.
I think this
hit the rear.
blob here
That
is
blob's
looking pretty
nice.
tasty, isn't it? If we fire it right in the center here, let's see how that works. Let's get a nice cinematic shot of that as well.
You love it.
In comes the rocket.
You've been learning, haven't you?
I have. I've been learning from the greats. Here comes the rocket, and it's going to split in the air. Bosh, and it's hit next to no one.
Great use.
Actually,
Great
Tom,
use.
it didn't hit any men. It hit lizards. So
well,
that's embarrassing.
You may win that, but you definitely lost with the aiming of your little cluster bomb.
No, that's fine. Now, I've kept this Storm Vermin unit here in reserve because I want to move them over to this ancient Stegodon.
He's a bit of a tank.
He's a bit of a tank. He's also firing javelins down from those skinks just riding on top. And I'm going to bring Skrolk into the fray now as well, and he's going to start casting Plague on this big bundle of people who are moving towards me.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Now, the Plague is pretty cool because it puts this giant Skaven just sort of like looking pretty cool, having fun. He's just like, yeah, I'm here.
He's like,
You ready for
have
an
some
explosion? You want some Plague, guys? You want some Plague? Got some Plague coming for you. He's going to explode at the end as well, which is also fun.
Andragonlia said typical artillery precision here from Whelan.
Typical artillery position from Whelan.
Precision.
Oh,
I can't
precision.
talk. Yes.
Yeah, I'm known for shooting my my artillery into questionable targets. But that's what Skaven are all about, actually, Tom. That's what Skaven are all about.
He also says nobody cares, more missiles.
Yeah, more missiles.
That's all people want. Have you been using the directional wind?
Have I been using the directional wind?
Didn't you just drop a wind spell then?
No, that was a tear-shaped little spell there.
Okay.
And we were shooting on some of these cheeky little skirmishes.
Didn't know if it was
here.
directional at all.
I'm actually going to be moving these guys around as well. I just summoned Vermintides to get some clan rats here.
That is cool.
On this slate.
I do enjoy that.
Slan Mage Priest. And now you're going to see my Doom Wheel just mop up some of these guys who are trying to run away, which is also fun. And actually, I'm going to bring these Rat Ogres into the center as well. Tom, are you ready to play this, by the way? Because you're coming up after me, by the way.
Am I playing the same battle?
Or
am I going to play the other one?
Do you want to play as Malekith? We're definitely going to do a competition and see who's better at which.
I think we should do the other one next.
Yeah, so I'll play through the other ones just as a standard, just so you can see how they work in chat, and just in case you haven't seen anyone play them yet. And then once we've done that, me and Tom are going to have our own little mini grudge match and see who's better at playing. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win that?
Me.
You?
Nah, probably not.
What could possibly make you think that would be you?
Cluster bomb, cluster bomb, cluster bomb. Doom rocket,
Another
Doom rocket,
Doom
Doom rocket. Yeah.
Another Doom rocket. I've got two. Bosh. Look at that.
It's like a little fireworks.
In come all the shots now as well from my Globadiers. Now these guys are going to take a big hit.
Use it again.
You see how I've just got Skrolk tanking here? I really need to get him moved because use it again.
Use it again.
I can't use it again. I think it's bugged out. Shouldn't have it again. That's outrageous.
Use it all the time. Spam it.
Use it all the time. What the lizard men have foolishly done here is just come after Skrolk and try and take him down.
Yeah, they really have.
Basically
Your artillery's a bit close though.
Yeah, they are a bit close. Let's move back a bit.
Oh,
maybe
they're
away
gone.
from the Stegodon as well. You know, just an idea.
Lads,
Let's get these guys in.
They've dropped the equipment, I think. Your micro's slacking.
My micro is slacking. I'm focusing on being a good host. That's why. That's what I like to think.
Someone asked when you joined a boy band as well. I saw
when
that
I joined a
comment
boy band,
scroll through.
I've dyed my hair blonde. Yeah, it was supposed to go silver. I wanted to go for a silver look, but now I just look like Tom, which is awful. Because why would you want to look like Tom?
Great question. I ask that every day.
Oh, Tom. I feel bad now.
Yeah, you better do.
Let's get this Doom Wheel in. He's been chasing off all the.
Yeah, what's the Help It
strays.
Abomination doing? Has he got involved yet, or has he just been chasing the battle?
Don't really know. Where is he? There he is. Look, in he comes. Let's bring him after the Stegodon. Let's get some
Look at him wreck
A-bomb on Stegodon action. I think we can just watch this unfold now. Watch him just clawing through. I can't tell if he's running away. Yeah, he's definitely running away. This looks like the battle is in my favour now. Just such a strong army. Such a strong army. MX VREX says Tom blown the F out. I'm not sure he is. I don't think it was that bigger slam.
Nah,
as you were.
it's pretty minor.
Pretty minor. That's the end of the battle. There we go.
You won.
I did win. So that's how that battle's going to work out. And this is just a quick little look at some of the units, some of the Skaven, some of the Dark Elves as well coming up.
My favourite faction.
Your favourite faction, famously. Most of the kills. Now, actually, I'm going to challenge you on this. No, don't look at that one. Who got most kills? What unit do you think got most kills?
There's so many screens with the thing on. Who got the most kills?
Don't bother with the headphone swap.
Okay.
I know you love a headphone swap, Jess.
Most kills, I think, will be Zap. What's the Zap man called?
The Doom Wheel. The Zap man.
No, the experimenter dude.
Oh, Zap Spark, the experimenter.
Yes, Zap Spark.
Yeah.
Was it him?
No.
He got some good little
No, he only got
projectile
4
damage.
kills.
Well, that's pretty embarrassing.
So
That's down
that'll
to
be
you.
the 3 that I hit at the start, and then like maybe 1 guy.
So that's your fault then.
Yes, that's
Who
entirely my
did
fault.
get the most kills?
It was the Play Claw catapults.
Interesting.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was the Doom Wheel. Of course it was. Of course it was the Doom Wheel. Look at that, 175. Fantastic. Love it.
Just making stuff up. Challenge me to something you don't even know the answer.
Well, I had the answer in front of me. It's fine.
You still got it wrong.
Still got it wrong. Let's have a look at some more chat messages before we pop into the next quest battle. This is our preview build, by the way. We're going to be playing Skaven campaign next week as well, and that's going to be you and Guy, isn't it? Is it not?
Sure.
Is it not? You have no idea, do you? Guy is currently at Gamescom.
Yes,
which we are
Gamescom's
at.
happening.
We are at the moment.
And people can sit in a Doom Wheel. I've sat in the Doom Wheel. Have you sat in the Doom Wheel?
I've not sat in the Doom Wheel.
You must be pretty disappointed
I'm really
about that.
gutted. These banners are from our English preview event.
They are.
And like
That's where it was. and
Although
I
it was in a
sat
toilet
there.
museum and smelt a lot. It
Yeah,
looked
I was
amazing.
there. I was at the toilet museum. It did smell. Can confirm.
Have you
Smell
ever been to a
confirmed.
toilet museum? Tell us in the chat. Let us know. Michael the Bay Whelan, notice me senpai, there you go. Cypher was in the last one. Cypher's a big fan, Tom. Have you ever had anyone call you Bay?
Yeah.
There you go. Little tidbit for you on Tom. We're going to play the next quest battle, which is Destroyer. And this is your boy Malekith. Favourite Legendary Lord?
Sure. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
I had to think about it. I was like,
Marathis
No.
pretty cool.
Marathi is pretty cool. But
She's
no,
got some rockin' 80s hair.
she does. I haven't actually played the campaign as her yet. So that's why I was like, I paused on my judgment.
Fair.
Because I don't have a fair judgment. But it's probably going to be Malekith anyway.
Fair. Fair.
Because he's a bit of a beast. He just looks cool.
So let's start
Does
this
cool
battle
things.
and let's hear this little intro from my boy, Malekith.
Herds of Acer clog the path to Vor's petty shrine. Sweep them aside, my kin. Let the king approach the god and have the god kneel. Send forth the vanguard. Have them prepare my way. Vor will deign to bless my sword. He will marvel at my creation. Or I will destroy all of his.
Oh,
What happened?
flawless.
Fun
Let's
fact.
shove it on pause so that we can see. So this is the
Can
setup.
I get to a fun fact quickly?
Yes, go for a fun fact.
The voice at the start.
Yes.
When you press start battle.
Mm-hmm.
Whose voice is in there? When it starts battle, it does a little war cry. You'll
Oh,
see
what,
so,
Drew Key?
yeah.
Drew Key, yeah, that's actually me. That's Michael
Well,
Whelan.
not just you.
Your boy, Michael
Not
Whelan,
just
voice
you.
actor extraordinaire.
Not just you.
So for the units, when they say like Drew Key or something like that, we do all the voice acting in house. So we get some of the guys from the office to just come in, do some shouts, do some war cries. I was in it. I'm a Drew Key.
Yeah. We don't do all of it in house.
No, we don't do all of it in house. Obviously,
But we do the
the main
big
characters
units.
and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. We're going to get voice actors in from.
Yeah.
But the big units, we all get to do it ourselves,
It's
which
good
is
fun.
really fun. Really, really fun. So look at this incredible map. Look at that. This is Vor's Anvil. This is like a giant sort of forge on the southern tip of Ulfwan. You can see that High Elven Tower right there in the centre. So basically, it's Malekith. He's invaded, and we're going to go up against both of the High Elf Legendary Lords in Teclis and Tyrion.
Are you scared?
I am scared. This one's a bit harder. This one's a bit harder than the others. So we're just going to do a quick setup. Now, we've got our Har Garneth. Is that how you put it? These are your guys, so you need to talk me through the fluff, mister, if you're going to say they're your favourite faction. The Executioners, these guys are your great sword infantry. They're armor piercing, and they've got cool death masks. So, best of every
Sold,
world.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
What else do you need? We're going to shove them right in the middle, and then I'm going to flank them up with your Black Ark Corsairs here. These guys are spawned on the Black Arks. They're kind of like pirates, I guess. Corsairs.
Also, everyone in chat, listen to Joey. Good point.
Joey will know. We'll pass on your feedback about the voice, but for now, let it go. Just
Joey has spoken.
like, guys, chill out. I think his voice is cool.
Now we're moving on.
We're moving on. Right, we're going to shove our Blackguard of Nagarond on the flanks. Now,
Beasts.
Yeah, Matt has told me that this is like the strongest unit in the Dark Elf roster. Would you agree?
Look at them. Right?
They are cool as heck. I mean, they are amazing. Let's get some no UI shots of these guys. I mean, they look fantastic. They're also very, very strong. So, quick look at the stats: 115 armor, armored, armor piercing, anti-large, charge defense against all foes, weapon strength of 44 with an armor piercing value of a 30. A bonus versus large of a 24. You're also going to get your melee attack of 36, melee defense of 46, leadership 95 at the moment with the little flank secure bonus. They're pretty good. 100 units in the roster as well.
Beasts.
Pretty beasty. Pretty beasty. These guys are going to go on the flanks. Now, obviously, as I said, I've played these 2 quest battles before. I know there's a lot of cavalry to come up against. So these guys are going to be very, very handy because they're going to be, well, they're going to be pretty influential.
Don't forget you've got some allies up ahead.
I do have some allies up ahead.
To make sure you keep up with them.
Basically, these guys are my meat shield, right? Yeah? Mate, I'm playing as Malekith. I don't care about
how you wish.
Yeah, I don't care about anyone.
If you're going to set up and then move forward, that's one way. I would help. I would join in the fight.
Well, we'll see who does better, won't we?
We shall.
We'll see.
I guess we will.
This is obviously just the show-off round, so we're just showing off how the quest battles look. Then we'll see who's actually better at the game. Probably you. But let's go ahead. I'm going to group these guys up in group 1. I'm going to get my Cav, group them up in 2, and shove them here. Oh, I've also got my Hydra, by the way. How have we not even looked at the Hydra? Look at this thing.
Hydra.
I'm going to shove it in slow-mo just so you can see some of the animations as well. This is probably one of the coolest models in the game. They look absolutely fantastic. Look at them just dribbling with their little like molten spit. They're just waiting with their little snake
Do
tail.
you start dribbling at the same time?
Molten spit. They're going to be coming after. It's like your favourite little thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Thanks
got
for
all your
revealing that on stream.
Yeah, your little catchphrases. Loving that. So this is going to be a fun battle, I think.
And of course, has the ability of some fire. The War Hydra.
It does. It has, as you know, some of the dragons and hydras and stuff like that. They're going to get fiery breath. Now this is a breath attack. It's got a range of 90 meters, so it's basically a 5-headed catapult.
It is, but can't be engaged in melee combat. So you have to make sure to either do it on the run through or pull back as necessary.
Yeah, so one good thing to do is if you're charging in, you've got some spears coming at you, disrupt the spears formation so you can get past and smash into
Also has regeneration, which makes it an absolute beast.
It's tanky regen as well, like real tanky regen, because you've got your standard regen here and you've also got another takes its place, which is represent their heads being cut off and grown back in mythology, and that's going to replenish as well if it goes under 50% health. So yeah, massive tank. It's going to do really well for us.
You probably want to start moving forward.
Let's start moving forward. I was in slow-mo just so that we could just get a nice look,
yeah.
but let's start moving forward. I'm going to move my my cav up as well.
You also got some harpies in there.
Oh, it's got some harpies. People like harpies, right?
Harpies are there.
Harpies exist. There they are. Looking very cool. Flying in the air.
Did you mention the Witch Elves?
Did I mention the Witch Elves? I don't believe I did. Why don't we have a look? Witch Elves are your anti-infantry damage dealers. So these guys are not good against armoured units. These gals, sorry, are not good against armoured units, but they are going to do a lot of damage against anyone who is foolish enough to not take armour against them. They are blood crazed, and they are mental, and they've got rock hard abs. So they're going to. They do have rock hard abs. They're going to do very good. Let's get Malekith moving over to provide some magical power. We can also have a little look at the new changes to wind spells. Sorry,
to breath spells.
Would you like to show that off?
Sure. I mean, you fire away. Right?
Fire away, or do we want to leave it to Darren to show off? I'll let you make the decision. You're the content man. This is taking you a long time, Tom. I thought this was going to be a quicker decision.
You just do what feels natural.
Do what feels
just
natural.
do it. Don't mention it.
Wow, Gelt is the Witch King
Darren
too.
wants to show off. I know he's excited about it. Let's let him do it. Keep an eye out on YouTube for some Let's Plays coming up because Darren's got a few tricks up his sleeve, shall we say.
Why did you do that so weirdly? What's the matter with you? Hope you lose now.
I've had a long day. Hope I lose. Yep. That's just mean.
Well, then I win as well.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair. Right, let's get these Witch Elves in here. I'm going to send my crossbow guys here. And then, now, these Cold One Knights are incredibly tanky. They have anti-large, so they're going to do really well.
Good termite rocks. Woo!
Anti-infantry. And look at the amount of damage they did in that initial charge. These guys.
But you're playing on normal. Fuck!
Pretty fantastic. I need to be careful of these Phoenix Guard though, because they are obviously going to do a lot of damage to me with their anti-large bonuses. And let's move these crossbows around the back as well. Now this is quite a micro-intensive one, this one, which means I'm probably going to be really rubbish at it, but let's just keep going. I think I've got something running in the background. Oh, there we go.
What? What just happened?
Something just popped up. Ignore that, that's fine. So we're going to be... sorry?
The top bar has arrived.
Yeah, the top bar has arrived. We are in a debug mode because this is a build that we have in the office. So that has completely thrown me off, so let's get these guys out of here, and let's go after these archers as well. I think I'm actually going to send these witch elves in up against these... Actually, I'm going to go straight after the archers with these guys, I think. And the witch elves are going to do alright against these silver helms because they just do so much damage. Silver helms, though they are like quite well armoured, they're just so tanky. They're going to do a lot of damage to them. These Phoenix Guard, however, are going to be difficult to come up against. So I need to be careful about that on the flank. Now let's get this range support coming in. These guys are really good. They've got these dark shards, which are like these little crossbows with their shields here. They have this cool animation where they shoot over their shield.
They do.
And they're armor-piercing missiles, which is really, really useful.
They are very, very powerful. Your War Hydra is being underused currently.
Yeah, I got thrown off. Let's just say that.
Malekith's just floating. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I'll tell you what Malekith's going to do. I'll tell you what Malekith's going to do.
You can use a little breath.
Man. I know, I'm going to get a little blade wind action going on.
Right on your own friendly units.
Oh, I don't care about friendly units. Now, income reinforcements. Look at the damage that's doing. Love it.
Your own units.
And look, we've reached Murderous Prowess. So, Murderous Prowess is an ability that we get when playing as...
It means your dick's
Dark
hard.
Elves. And it basically means that if enough blood has been shed, then we're going to get...
Not shed blood, do you?
Bloodshed.
Blood.
You've never heard the word
I guess
bloodshed?
so.
That's a thing.
I guess so.
If enough
You'd
blood
say
is
spilt.
Okay, let's say spilt, just to appease Tom. If enough blood has been spilt, then we're basically going to get a massive army-wide bonus, which is really, really strong. And you'll see it on these guys here. Murderous Prowess here. It's going to give us plus melee attack. We're going to get leadership. We're going to get charge bonus. We're going to get armor piercing, missile damage,
stuff,
and
right?
vigor. It's very, very good, Tom. It's very, very good.
Someone said in chat, purpley.
It is very purpley. We love visual effects. We love a nice visual effect. Let's bring over our range support over here. And as I said, in come all of this flipping cav, which I've got to deal with
You're
now.
getting smashed now.
Yeah, I'm getting
Your
smashed.
War Hydra could probably turn around and use a flame on them while it's
use a flame on
unengaged.
them.
You've got to be pretty quick, though.
Come on, lad.
Because if they
Little
engage...
little shotty.
Oh, they're running away.
Oh, that's
running away from
annoying. They knew what was coming. They knew the AI is cheating, Tom. Basically, that's what's happened. But that War Hydra is going to be fine against these
Flamespire
Reavers.
Phoenix is coming in on you as well.
I'm not worried about
It's going to
Phoenix.
do the little
I'm
drops.
going to go after it
It's
with
dropped.
Malekith.
Oh, look, it's
I'm going after it with
wrecked you there.
Malekith. Malekith's going after him now. I'm going to do my own little drop, I reckon. And I'm probably going to drop it... No, there's not a whole lot of troops over here anymore, you know.
You're getting wrecked on that right side, though.
Yeah, right side is where I need to be worried.
What was your plan with that spear unit? Was it to kill all of those 7 units, or was it to just hold them back?
It was to hold them back, which I probably should have done with a weaker unit.
Yeah, probably.
Tom,
Yeah.
you really really put me off now, man. You know you're not giving me my moral support that I need to win this battle.
You made it a competition.
I did make it. It's not a competition yet. It's gonna be a competition, but not yet. Now that Phoenix is being ripped apart by my beautiful black dragon, who also has his
Geld
own
is also the Witch King.
breath spell here, which we
Still
can use.
shocked by it.
Maybe I'll just shoot it down on one of these guys. Maybe on that that little Rama mage who thinks she's going to get away. Let's send those witch elves off, because we've actually quartered these guys off because they've gone right up against the edge of the battlefield.
They've trapped themselves there.
They've trapped themselves.
But they do have
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Now I'm glad you're using that, that ranged infantry.
Boo, old meme.
Stand there.
Well, they're
Minus
picking off
20
these,
DKP.
these survivors here, because obviously a siege unit without their siege weapons is
Not great,
really
yeah.
important target that you need to go after.
Not recommended.
Well,
Do you
I'd
think you're going to
recommend
win this?
it. Yeah, it'll be fine, mate. It'll be fine.
You might want to address.
Balance of power is still in my favour.
Sure.
It's going to be fine. I'm going to go after this Phoenix
Still
again.
got a lot of
finish him off.
spells. Still got a lot of
Still
winds
got
of
a lot of
magic left
spells.
to use.
Don't want to waste them. Don't want to waste them. Now let's stop firing on these guys. Obviously, armor-piercing missiles can be really handy. We're going to go after these sword masters over here on the left.
Tell you what, I bet you're glad you're sending your units in 1 by 1. Must be really good.
They're not in 1 by 1, mate. They're 2 by 2. But look at the armor-piercing damage from these guys.
It's good. Those guys are useful.
Fantastic. Now these can just mop those up, and whilst we do that, we're going to move these guys to fire on here. We've got a a little unit of Blackguard here who have just rallied, but they're probably going to run away again because they're very outnumbered now. All of these cav on this side are dealt with, so we can start moving these guys over here now. I told you, Tom, it's going to be fine. I called you Guy there.
You did call me Guy, but that's fine. You could have just said a guy, and then that would have stood.
My guy, perhaps.
Yeah, sure. Any of those.
It's fine, my guy. We're all good.
Or just ignored it. I wouldn't have noticed.
Could have done that.
But now you've made it yourself.
We're now going to move our Dark Shards up onto the hill. Still got my guy. Sounds we're dating. My guy.
So
Are we dating, Tom?
Just
your
kissed.
range is moving
Use tongue.
into contact with their range. They've just dropped a spell on you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about all this?
That's only going to hit about one of those. Now, both of these units, because they've gone up with Loth and Seaguard, and we've gone up with our Dark Shards, both of which are shielded, so they're going to be good against...
just hitting each other's shields then.
basically, yeah, but I've got a little bit more armor-piercing damage than them, so
Sure.
I'm effectively going to do more damage than they are in the long term. Whilst we're doing that, we can get these guys coming in. I'll just pick off this mage here. I'm also going to drop a little bombardment spell on there just to do a bit more damage.
What's your Hydra doing?
My Hydra is just picking off some of these guys.
What are all your men doing behind you?
What are men doing behind me? They're just lining up. Just getting ready. Just getting ready. Why are you so mean today, Tom? Alright, I've had a long day. I never said I was a pro gamer, you know? Never said I was a pro gamer.
Just said it then.
What?
Technically.
No,
If you take away you never from the start of it, you just
I
said
didn't-
you're a pro gamer.
I'm not claiming I never said the statement, I'm a pro gamer. I'm saying I never claimed to be a pro gamer. And off they run because high elves are just no match for Malekith's might. Off you pop. Look at that vista. Look at Malekith just flying up in the air. And that is the end of that quest battle.
Loves it.
Fantastic. So I think that was probably on one of the easier difficulties, considering
Must have been,
that I was not playing well and still won. Obviously, this is a preview build, so we don't want to scare people off
Sure.
when they first play Total War Warhammer. We're going to end that battle, and that means that we are coming to the competition phase of this stream.
Who got the most kills?
Who got the most kills? I would probably say it was my Cav, yeah. These Cold One Knights did it.
Was.
Big
Harpies.
So, like,
Harpies the
real talk here, why don't they have a kill tracker yet? I don't know why they have like losses and remaining, but the kill tracker is a lot more interesting. I mean, individual unit kills, okay, but I like seeing overall kills. The stats over in Medieval 2 were a lot more interesting.
one I'm a big fan of.
Are you a fan of bats?
I'm a fan of
I've not
bats.
heard that before.
And yeah, good for the range.
Someone's
units.
pointing out
Strength them.
the casualties. 680 losses. But bear in mind, a lot of those casualties are on my ally, which I'm not in control of. So
Those 680 weren't. The ones below were.
yeah, those died.
That's the one you're talking about.
But the one that got almost entirely wiped out, not my problem.
No.
That was they were.
I mean, you could have helped save them if you didn't dilly-dally at the beginning.
Yeah, no, the combat's cool. I still think it's way too fast for it to really show too much. I guess they might be doing like a multiplayer fight, maybe. Let's see.
We solve this console issue, and then we're gonna let you jump on my PC, and we're gonna see your skills, my friend.
Are we now?
Now you're not feeling as confident, are you?
No, I'm right.
So we need to grab views, don't we? So I'm gonna jump into the first quest battle, which you're gonna be playing as, and then I'll just.
I'm gonna play the first one first.
Yes.
And then the second one second.
If you want, mate, you can do
Sure,
the second
yeah.
one first and the first one second if you want.
No, this is
It's up
getting
to you.
confusing now.
Should we have a look at the chat? Someone said that you were Malekith incarnate. Would you agree with that?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
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 Yeah. You know what that says about you, right?
Yep.
Chat, is there anything that you're particularly excited about that we've shown so far? Maybe you really love a Hydra.
Yeah, okay. This has been pretty cool. I was kind of hoping for a few bits of new content, but I guess they're just kind of wanting to get through the current quest battles and things like that, trying to saturate that. I'm sure we'll see a lot more new content as time goes on. Is that dude on a furry chair or on like a rug chair? Is that made out of Skaven flesh? That's kind of hot. I don't know. I'm just waiting for them to kiss a little bit. I don't know. Is that weird? I think it might be a little bit weird. Yeah, I've been pretty quiet, just kind of letting them do their thing, but we've seen a lot of what's here. It's kind of funny having him on mute and having a guy look directly into the camera like he's talking shit about me. Hey, what are you saying about me? Anyway, no, neither of them are me, but I should be there. I should be there right now. They should fly me in every day and then fly me back home every night, and then I'll just play Total War Warhammer 2 for them and critique stuff. Like, why the fuck does Malekith sound like Geld? Come on, that's a legitimate criticism, because if Darth Vader in the trailer was all like, Luke, and then in the actual thing he's like, Luke, people would be a little bit bothered by that. Anyway, back to the stream.
Boom! Look at that. How's that for
Oh,
fire
no.
emojis? Thank you, Warcats. Thank you very much. I'm just quickly fixing this, which I went into the wrong thing. That'll probably be why. Graphics. There we go. So I need to do that. Then I need to do that. Is that right? You should know this because you do this all the time.
I know. I record it with the menu on.
And then
You've definitely made it worse, haven't you?
What do I do?
You meant to untick.
What? No, I want it in a window so I can access this, and then I need to get rid of...
I don't know. I don't do this.
How do you not know this?
Because I do it in post.
You just do it in post?
Yeah.
Mate.
That's the normal way to do it.
That's outrageous. Oh, little cough there.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You getting ill?
Absolutely fine. I'm not... No,
Skaven
don't
ill?
say that. Don't say
You
that.
getting Skaven plague?
I don't want to get ill again.
You getting Skaven plague?
That's
I'm
Tom.
Skaven plague.
Tom
Wheels
coming in
wishes he was a
fast, critical
Targaryen.
damage.
Is
This is
this
true.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't want to.
Thanks, Figo.
Daenerys Targaryen, famously the worst character in.
Hey, Gabriel.
Is she?
If what it might have been.
Okay, well, we're just gonna watch their faces contort as they communicate with each other, and I'll communicate with all of you. So right now they're having a few technical problems trying to get a bar away from the battle. They don't know what's going on right now. They have a preview build. The stream will be up later, so if you missed it, you can see it later. I basically stream to bring more awareness to the videos and things like that. It answers a lot of questions, and I get to provide some post-commentary afterwards about what I think about it all. So it looks like Tom, who is probably the more experienced player, is going to be playing this battle again, which I'm curious to see what he has to say about it. I think he'll definitely bring a lot more to the table. When it comes to these battles, I actually like people who are good at the game because it's able to teach us a lot more rather than going over obvious information that we already know. I'm also trying to get better at the game. I'll be playing some more multiplayer. I might even put up a multiplayer battle up today if I have time, or at least tomorrow. I need to start putting them up daily. All right, let's get to it.
It is, man.
Goodness.
Stop
Oh my
stepping
goodness.
on my
I'm
wire.
trying to get my feet over it. Calm your
God.
boots.
Calm your boots. Who's wearing boots? Better not be rat stomping boots.
What you are. And what's happened now is
But, yeah,
I'm
but-
a foot taller than you.
No, but look, we go the same height now, and we're fine.
Sure, well, you adjusted the chair.
Obviously, you're taller than me. Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I thought Whelan was going to fight that guy. No, we're not doing multiplayer yet. We do have some multiplayer coming up in the near future, though, which is going to be really fun. So talk me through your strategy here. You're going to steal my tactic.
Well, to a degree, I mean, well, it's logical, right?
It is logical.
Spears beats horses, or lizards in this case. Lizards on other things.
Raptors, I believe.
Sure.
Oh, so you're actually keeping your skirmishers back. Is that right?
Is that right? I've just put them there. I've put them here. I'm setting my army
Yeah,
up.
so I shoved mine all the way to the side, trying to flank with them.
I'll get some involved in here. Let's get my rat ogres. They can wreck shop
Warcats
up
would
here.
kindly like you to swarm over their realms and drown them in a tide of brown fur. Do you think you can do that?
Yep, no problem.
Sure.
You didn't use your Hell Pit Abomination enough, so I'm going to address that issue.
Yeah, I should have used it more.
These
I mean,
little
you have
lads-
just sent your Doom Wheel off, if that's what you're talking
No,
about.
I've sent him over here.
Okay.
He's coming in.
Okay, okay.
They're both
Okay.
getting involved.
Okay.
They're both getting involved. Calm your boots. Calm your boots. Now, Howard's could move a little bit quicker, maybe.
The DOS boss says the Abomination head would do nicely on Volkmar's Pimp Wagon. I don't think Volkmar's
now?
got it in him to take down the Hell Pit Abomination, personally.
Do you not?
No. He's got a cool chariot, but
Now, my Doom Wheel's going to get in a bit of trouble
has he
here.
got the skills to take down the A-bomb? I'm not sure.
Now, you know what
Now-
I've done? I've lined too far on the right, but it's okay. I can fix this issue.
No, the A-bomb...
Real quick, while they're doing this, I need to go ahead and do my wall. let me go ahead and you can give me a score, 1 to 10, okay? All right.
I've played
Oh,
a
goodness,
bit of
my unit's
tabletop,
got a crossover.
but when I was quite young, so I don't remember a lot of it.
Okay.
Also, like, earlier editions and stuff. I actually played the Lizardmen when I first played,
Really?
just because it was like a spare army in my house.
You had a spare army in
Yeah,
your
my
house?
brothers used to play, and they got like a
Got you,
starter
okay.
set, and they had the Lizardmen, so I was like, yeah, I'll play the Lizardmen, they're pretty cool.
Makes a bit more sense now.
Incubus Dragon says, I am talking to distract you so that your performance looks bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I can handle it.
And then I go quiet.
You do instantly, yeah.
Maverick says we're cheeky lads.
So I haven't played much as the Skaven, as some say.
Skaven. So what do you know about them?
They're rats.
Yes.
They
Correct.
kill people. They are like horde-like, not horde-like, but like they
Swarm.
swarm.
That's
That's
the
the
word you're
badger.
looking for.
That was the word I was looking for.
Have the
I feel
abomination
I've
fight the
disposed of
connoisseur.
these
Come on!
pretty,
It's what I did.
they're pretty rapid, right?
Vageldan says, why does Warhammer need 34.8 gigabytes of space to update? It's just the way that our updates work. We're looking at something to maybe change that, but nothing confirmed at the
Yeah,
moment.
we are looking into it. True story.
So you're rocking a rocket at the moment.
Yeah,
You're going to
so
shove that right
forward.
in the center.
Yeah, my army had a lot of crossover, so I accidentally kind of didn't bring all my units.
So you've gone straight for the guys on the middle. You got a nice hit there on those Saurus warriors.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he's doing much better.
Let's get the help it involved.
They're all grouped up
Cypher9
too.
says more high elf stuff, please. We should have some high elf stuff coming up eventually. Yeah. You're definitely. It's not the last you've seen of the high elves before the game comes out. That's for certain. Eventually, you'll see some more high elf stuff. Ooh, a little net drop there.
This is actually much better. He did a great job. He set up a
so.
great battle.
Well then.
He's got them all grouped up. I like how he had him come to him.
So
Took out the
Doomwheel
reinforcements
is your wings,
quickly.
but in physical form and infinite.
Damn, dude,
usable.
nice
That
one.
is probably a good way of saying it. Yeah. Doomwheel is a wrecking ball, and if you obviously it can get pinned down and it can get destroyed by some units, but if you look after it, it will just rack up kills. Where is your Doomwheel, by the way?
A goblin walk. Wah!
You've got him stuck in there.
He's over here.
Yeah, got him stuck
Let's
right
get
in.
him out.
You can almost like not bother clicking attack with him, just let him move through things. Just because of like the amount of mass he has, he'll just tear things to pieces.
Let's get these lads back involved. I guess I better chase you out. Get rid of the old Carnosaur, so you could keep wrecking some shot. Are you shooting? Please shoot. Stegon's causing some issues.
Yeah, Stegodon will cause some issues.
Really want to get these guys in here.
Got your Globadiers there not being utilised, my friend. Globadiers very important.
Where are they? These guys?
Yeah, the ones being trampled by an ancient Stegodon.
Yeah, it's fine, isn't it? It's good use for them, yeah?
That's what you want them for, right?
Waluigi has Wa in a name. Thank you very much.
Right, they're done.
RegV has asked that when we stream high elf stuff, make sure they're not the victims and that they're like in control.
They'll be the main feature.
But he's put stream in air quotes.
Interesting.
As if like we pre-record it or something. Even though I'm reading his message right now.
Maybe you knew that was coming.
He used way too many on the right blink.
Maybe I knew that was coming. That would be incredible.
He only needed a few halberds over there, not that many.
Seeing my micro skills.
That's very true.
Bear in mind, guys, that you can pre-order Warhammer 2 right now, and you will get Norsca for free for Warhammer 1. So if you haven't played Norsca yet, then you can use that to tide yourself over until the swarms.
Was that a
of rat
Vermintide joke?
come.
Was it actually, or
It
did
was. I said until the swarms of rats, but then you cut over me.
Sorry. Oh, my Doomwheel's been chasing people.
Shoe on head or stream is pre-recorded. I'm not going to take my shoe off. I'm not going to do that.
You said take your shoe. I think you should.
What will you give me?
Well, I give you
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay. Not going to do it then. Cypher9 asks, will new races be able to occupy all the old world settlements like they can with Warhammer 2 races, or will there be restrictions? So when we release the combined campaign map, you're going to be playing it in Warhammer 2, which means that any features exist in Warhammer 2 are going to exist in the combined campaign map, and therefore the old world, which means that you're going to get new regional occupation mechanics with all the new features instead of the old ones, which means that you're going to be able to technically take over anywhere you want, no matter who you are. Very cool. Very cool stuff. Iron Bat says Whelan is so cute. Would you agree with that, Tom?
No.
I thought we were the perfect couple.
My helmet
according to
might
the
die
chat.
in a second, by the way.
Oh, zoom in on it, my man. My dude. Zoom in on the death. Go, go, go.
Die, boy.
Is he going
He
to die?
did
or
well
is
in the
he
very
gonna regen?
beginning.
He's not going to regen. He's wrecked.
Oh,
Because I got him involved.
you did get him involved. Put him into the wrong combat situation, didn't you? Left
Put
him
him
on his
into
own.
a combat situation.
Where is your front line gone, by the way?
Front line just kind of melted a bit. I spread too thin.
You did spread too thin.
That's okay.
Also, a lot of it just standing around.
They are now, yeah. That's okay.
It kind of goes to show how they have a hard time micromanaging their own game in these
Stegodon.
fights.
He needs to die.
There's a pretty high skill
capital
ceiling to
letters
do
are big in
well.
lowercase, that's correct.
That is a fact.
That
That's
is a
a stone
fact.
cold fact. Who do you think's going to have the most kills?
Right, so your time was 52:25. Okay, I'm going to write that
Sure.
down. Has anyone got, I've got a pen. I'm going to write that down. Okay, we have to remember to do that as well.
Write it on the back of this, because this seems irrelevant now.
Yeah, that does seem relevant. So you got what? 52:25
No, 35.
remaining. 25.
So a big thing to keep in mind is that the CA that you have now is not the CA that made Medieval 2, which was a CA based in Australia. I have no clue if anyone there came to CA in the UK, so They're not even the same studio. It's probably why they don't really like to talk about it too much or like to go over it at all. After that, they made Warscape for Empire Total War, so completely different dev studio, and that's what happened there. Really, I think in very many ways, we still have a lot of issues with actual lines forming for battles. That's one thing that people really enjoyed in Medieval 2 is that you had proper lines, whereas like here, it still becomes more of a mosh pit where the flanking becomes kind of a clusterfuck, and it is a little bit more difficult like that. He'll probably do the next battle in just a moment. So there's a lot that I do hope to change. I hope that they really focus on the campaign map, even for the third game. Really, if they had a much more tremendous trade mechanic going on, or diplomatic mechanic for the campaign map, I think a lot of us would have a lot more fun. I mean, you can't neglect half of the game. You spend half of your time, if not more, on the campaign map, so it needs more. Like in Warhammer 1, you just kind of build the same things in every zone. You don't really need to change it up too much on the campaign map. And yeah, there could just be a lot more stuff going on. The Empire Total War campaign map was actually a lot of fun. You could become a national powerhouse just through trade. And I know it's Warhammer, but this is still a Total War game. And so part of that is just having the facilitation of your combat through what you do on the campaign map. And I think that would still be very interesting. I think in a way, raising it's still a huge problem because it gets rid of the entire town. I wish there was like more, I guess like, trying to think about how to put it. Towns that are there, that will not move, that will not change, that are strategic points that you don't just burn to the fucking ground. Because with all the wars that have gone on, it's not like these places have just been burned to the ground every single time. Got another battle going on. I think he'll have an easier time on this. It's a much smaller battle map, so maybe he'll have a much easier time keeping track of things. I think the variety of units makes it kind of hard to actually micromanage. You just have so much variety of what you need to use, a lot more than people are probably used to in other Total War games, which is fair too.
Beautifully acted.
Thank you. I am an actor.
Right.
Should we skip this bit?
It's up to you, mate. I would say yes. Okay, so here you are. You're stepping on my wire again, but here we are. We're in the...
Oh yeah, real quick, I also agree with that completely. Taking out minor city battles was a terrible idea. Actually, some of my favorite battles was like coastal invasion battles going to a small town. The flat, tiny maps are not that interesting, and you can rarely win if you're a tinier force. You will rarely ever win if you have a much smaller force. And of course, the siege battles are a huge detriment to the entire game. I don't know if they'll ever change that. I doubt it. I don't think they can. It would be like too much work for them engine-wise, maybe. Thankfully, we have custom maps, but even then, the AI doesn't know how to fully react to those, so that's a fucking problem.
Oh, you're a fool. What are you doing with your hobbies then? What are your bat ladies doing?
They're going to stay and wait for these reinforcing units. And then they'll go for the...
Another thing real quick. As far as Black Arcs, which is probably that floating city that you're talking about, they will be a mobile city that will just kind of go over the water. It'll have like, I think like, what, 10 slots like a capital or something? And you'll be able to just have a mobile base go wherever you want all over the world, which is pretty fucking cool. Not quite ship battles, but hey.
These guys can get involved in this battle to start with.
Nice, nice.
But we'll...
Now those Cold War Knights are arguably the most useful thing you have on that battlefield. So you got to be careful of those guys.
They'll get involved. They'll get involved. Trust.
Winter Mist says, my mother was a Doom Wheel.
Really?
And Reed 1724 says, wheels for the Wheel God.
Well, that's an interesting statement.
Gracie Fancore says, bat ladies in all caps. Just reading stuff out now.
You really are, yeah. I mean,
what if Wheels was riding a Doom Wheel? And what if I was also spinning the Wheel of Faction?
The Wheel of Wheels.
Wheelception. Wheelin is the god of wheels, with no H.
Wheels.
Hairy chest is distracting for elves. Don't get that one. Don't understand that one at all.
What?
Loving the chat. Loving the chat this time.
Chat is loving life today. Can't argue, can you?
They've had their Weetabix this morning. Other cereals are available.
Other wheat-based cereals.
Other wheat-based cereals. Other biscuit-shaped cereal is available.
Who else we got? We got these lads. These lads are kind of waiting. Oh my goodness, they're getting flanked. It's okay. It's okay.
They should be alright.
Oh yeah, and what could I do to make multiplayer battles more fun for all of you to watch? I want to be bigger in multiplayer battles, so if you guys can tell me how to actually do that, that would be fantastic. Any suggestions are fantastic. And again, do join my Discord community. It would be a great thing for you to do. I do go in there every day to chat. This guy is really moving in quickly, so he's going to be able to do a lot. I mean, it's not really a battle that I think you can lose because it looks like the High Elves are too weak, and you pretty much outnumber them here. You've got like 2 huge stacks.
Don't forget the Harpies.
Harpies are waiting. The Harpies' time will come. There we go, they're in range now.
Read 1724 says we need a Wheels versus Guy versus Tom versus Darren free-for-all.
Probably will happen one day.
Probably will happen. Probably very soon.
Whoa, soon? Don't spoil us.
Well, you know what soon means. Any time in the near future.
So I'm also aiming to get less of my allied men dead.
Bragalaga says, could we get some cinematic shots of the Hydra?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Give me
Are you feeling confident enough?
These Harpies distract.
What are you doing with the Harp? They're going to die instantly. Oh, now this is a good engagement for you. Those Blackguard are going to tear those Cav apart. Massive anti-dodge bonus on those guys.
That's the plan.
Laurie says soon means any time in the next 5 years. I don't think it's that liberal.
Where's my Hydra? Bear with, I'll get some cine shots in a bit of the Hydra.
People are loving the Blade Wind, by the way. Enjoying that. Iron Bat says use Malekith, please. And then you clicked on Malekith and he said his name, which is weird. Malekith. Very cool.
Come on, lads, I want you round here.
Come on, Cold War Knights. Now, bear in mind, that is a hybrid of spear and archery. So they're going to be difficult for your Cav to
use
take
my
down.
single against... Which one's this? This is Techless.
This is Techless. A little wimpy one with the,
Come on.
with the big
Hurry up,
magic.
Malekith. Do your thing.
Do your thing. Now, is that a bombardment
There
you
it
shot
is.
him?
I did. Look
Ooh,
at
that was a
damage.
big hit. That was a lot of damage. Rate that. Rate that very highly.
Let's use this little chill wind.
Yeah,
It's going to do a bit of damage to my men, but that's okay.
that's nice.
Yeah, his battle's going
It's
much
not as-
better. Also, do you guys like cinematic shots during a multiplayer battle, or do you just care about like the overview, kind of like how they're playing right now, where I kind of give you the play-by-play so you can let me know how that goes? Because at times I did have to go into slow motion to show that because battles are so brief.
As well, how's this battle going?
Yo, you're doing absolutely fine on it.
Wreck,
Probably
wreckedy.
move those guys over now.
Wreckedy wrecked.
Rickety wreck, son! That's going to do a lot of damage as well, coming in from the back. I think you're doing pretty well
Oh
here,
my
man.
goodness. Have we got Blade Wind? We've got another Blade Wind. They're moving a bit. Let's drop it on these guys. They might move.
Yeah, you
It would actually be interesting if you can make a more interesting siege camp with a bunch of features, and that, let's say it's like a 3-tiered city or whatever. You fight for the first tier, the outer walls, then the interior, then maybe like the final courtyard, and each one is his own map. Because, I mean, there's not a lot of towns in the game, so when you conquer one, it's a pretty fucking big deal, right? So that would actually make for more interesting battles where you could still wait out, and if the enemy wants to sally out after a costly attack, then they could. And I think that would be a really fucking cool idea that could still be done within the current type of siege maps they do have.
Yeah, ages ago. Come on, lads. I know you feel like you've done your job, but there's more people to kill.
Okay, so that's a bar that is essentially measuring the erection of the Dark Elves. No, it's actually murderous intent or whatever it's called. When it's filled up, when the Dark Elves have killed enough in a battle, they will get a buff, just a huge buff, because they love to fucking kill and fuck kill and kill fuck.
his unit cards.
It's okay.
Jeez.
I want to look for him. Oh, this battle might be over, Wheels. I'm pretty happy with that.
I'm waiting for the victory screen.
I'm
Waiting for
pretty-
the victory screen.
Who's left?
This guy going mental in the far right. Bang,
I'm pretty happy with that time.
53-35. I think that's a pretty good one for you.
I feel like that was I didn't take many losses,
Yeah.
but I do feel like I've given away a tactic to you.
Interesting. Interesting.
A close victory. 410, and look how many my men lost. There, look how much. Look at my
410 losses.
Now your ally, how many did they lose last time?
Oh, allies are relevant, mate. It's not under my control.
Some
They
people
were a meat shield. You're not a true dark elf if you care about other people.
but I look after my friends,
Well, you should be a high
and
elf
I
then.
feel like they will look after me again one day. I looked after my fellow dark elves,
Okay.
and I just saw this. Tom brings the pro, but Michael brings the joy.
Aww.
Isn't that cute?
That's a nice little duet, isn't it?
It is.
Right. That means I'm in control
Harpies, 5 kills as well. Good
5
shout.
kills on
Good
the
shout,
Harpies.
Charlie
Yes, Charlie
Sparrow.
Sparrow. Cheers, lad.
They took them a lot of effort, but they got 5 kills.
227 kills on Malekith, by the way.
Lad.
Bladewind.
Lad.
Whoo! My
Lad.
word.
And he did
What a
land
boy.
at the end, and he mopped up a little bit.
Yeah, that Black Dragon's pretty tonk as well, and he's got those breath
Going for
spells on him
tonk,
as
are
well.
you?
Love the word tonk.
Sure.
A little bit of Luton dialect. Right, let's swap over. Let's do this. That was my time, your time and your losses. Sorry, you can pop mine on there, on our incredibly professional
How does we do
post-it note
this?
setup. You're gonna like do a skipping rope over my wire. Okay.
Well, here we go. Yeah, I think Jess makes us not change headsets for her entertainment of watching us try and not tangle ourselves.
Selcam says Dark Elves do care about their fellow Druki, apparently.
Thank you. You're not a true Dark Elf.
Well, that's fine, I'm a Skaven.
Now again,
If there is one race who does not care about their brethren, it's the Skaven.
Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it here. We've already seen this. I mean, there's not any new content that I'm aware of. It looks like the overall theme is just quest battles and Skaven lore, which we got through the Skaven lore. And now they're just doing the quest battles. So I think I'm pretty good on that. I'm going to go ahead and begin recording and things like that. So I do hope that you enjoyed the stream. Like, what I enjoy about what we're doing here is that we get to discuss it live, and I get to see your comments live. It's a little bit less cancerous than having as many people that are on the Twitch Total War stream, because you know how that chat gets. It gets pretty crazy. They have to really watch out for stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff done, join my Discord and all that, and thank you for watching. Look forward for more stuff later.